Okay. Close the door here. Alright, and I do believe that we are live. Hello, hello. Jesus, that was quick. Figure fan, welcome to the stream. Hey. Probably give it a few more minutes for people to show up. I have the house to myself for at the very, very least the next hour or so. So I figured, you know what, let me do just a quick live stream because I've been itching to do a little bit of a live stream recently, especially watching other people do live streams and then figuring, you know what, there's like certain things that I don't want to make like a dedicated video for just yet, but you know, kind of like a town hall sort of thing, end of the month and end of the first half of the year sort of thing. That would be actually pretty nice to be able to do. But Silly Geezer, welcome to the stream. Have you seen the bootleg Mafex symbiote Spider-Man? What do you mean by the bootleg? Because if you're talking about like Mafex symbiote Spider-Man, isn't that the one that I just covered recently? The black one? Are they here already? Because I feel like they should be... My parents should be out for like another hour or so because my dad had like a dentist appointment. I'm like, there's no way you can get out of that quickly. The fake version of it, CT Toys? No. Very seldom are you going to see me talk about, let alone cover in like an official review capacity, a full-length like review of a knockoff or a fake. It would have to be a very convincing fake for me to be able to cover something like that on the channel. But welcome everybody who's watching, viewers, commenters, chatters, lurkers alike. Just wanted to, like I said, want to do a bit of a town hall style sort of stream here, slightly impromptu, considering that, like I said, I didn't really wake up this morning thinking I was gonna do a live stream, but I figured, you know what, my parents are gone, have silence, I have calmness here in the house, and I figured, you know what, let me take advantage at least for the next hour or so, because I don't mean to be live for very, very long, but at the same time, while I have your guys' attention here on a quick Wednesday afternoon, don't know exactly, I would probably argue that we are at least within the confines. Bland Boy, welcome to the stream. We're within the confines of when people are either getting off of work, getting off of school, and most especially if you're in the East Coast, I imagine that you should be either getting home or about to get home, about to have your dinner. So hopefully you guys are having a pretty good day here. Part of the stream here that I wanted to cover is some new additions coming to the channel as far as reviews, as far as firsts on the channel. And if you couldn't already tell from the thumbnail there, a sneak preview to anybody who's watching this live stream, even though this will be covered, most definitely going to be covered in its full official review. And it will be not just your, static review, but also kind of keeping to tradition as I like to do here on the channel. It's also going to be compared to pretty much everything else that is within the realm of this property, this iteration of Batman, and also this price point. And that is going to be the Mezco 1/12 scale. Wait, is it 1/12? Yeah, it's 1/12, right? Yeah, 1/12, as it says right there. The Mezco 1/12 The Batman, which just recently came out. Shout out to Mike's Toys and Stuff in the Orange, California, Southern California area for providing that. Well, not providing. I still bought it from him. Still paid my dues. But at the same time, knowing it's interesting when certain local mom and pop style collectibles shops have inventory sooner and more readily available and in really good inbox condition than your main places like Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store. Because I was waiting on Entertainment Earth to get this guy in stock for like the longest time. And yet, here we are at Mike's Toys and Stuff. And I was able to find it there for practically not only the same price, but he had the option to be able to do the whole pay in 4 thing. So I was like, yeah, let me do that. And this will be covered in a video. So I figured, you know what? Let's do it. So I still haven't opened him. I'm not going to open him on stream. Part of me wanted to, but at the same time, I kind of want to take my time. And we're actually in some slight confines here with the live stream. But I just kind of wanted to let you guys know that we're getting our first Mezco review on the channel. My first Mezco review is coming to the channel in the form of the Batman. And he will be compared to the Mafex, to the figure arts like I like to do. And hell, even the McFarlane. Even though I'm going to be officially going to be cheating a little bit. I'm going to be using the version from McFarlane that came in the Ultimate Movie 6-pack. The one with the cloth cape. Since this guy comes with all goods, I figured that that's probably the right thing, the most optimal thing to do. So, first Mezco review is going to be coming to the channel. It's convincing. The only thing I can tell apart is the shininess. The most convincing bootleg I've ever seen. The CT Toys Spider-Gwen. How much do they regularly go for, those CT Toys? Like versus Mafex, because I know that with certain places, like I kind of touched a little bit in the Nightfall Mafex review / comparison that I recently did. It really depends on where you're getting it. If you're getting it through Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth, you are looking above the $100 line. If you don't mind waiting a little bit and importing from Japan, whether it be through Hobbylink Japan or Hobby Genki or Ami Ami. I heard that there's a new store called Nin Nin, something like that. And that's going to be covering, they sell sometimes imports of certain figures, specifically Mafex and even some figure arts. And I believe that if you go with their Japanese yen, you're looking at like 60 to 70 bucks. And then you're just adding another like 15, 20 bucks for shipping. So you're looking at a grand total of 85 to 90. And it's like that. You know, you're shaving 10, 15 bucks. In some areas, you're shaving a whole 30, 40. So it's like, yeah, it's not a bad deal. You know, if you don't, like I said, if you don't mind waiting, then there you go. So yeah, first Mezco is going to be coming to the channel. And then I don't have him in hand. In fact, let me, real quick here. I'm not really going to show it too much on camera because I don't want to risk doxing either myself or the address I'm having it sent to, but let me check my Big Bad Toy Store shipments. Any updates? Do we even have any updates? Jesus, I really don't think I have any updates right now. Still says it's in route as of June 26th. That's today. No, that's now when I just checked, idiot. No, the last official, I'm assuming it's in flight, if this is the case. Oh, okay, there you go. And a USPS. So they're doing that weird thing where DHL ships it out in the long term as far as like major travel via like air. But once it gets to my neighborhood, then USPS is going to take it and deliver it. So, I got a shipment coming in from Big Bad Toy Store because I pre-ordered this from Big Bad Toy Store not too long ago. And, well, not too long ago. It actually has been a while ago. And it's basically our first Amazing Yamaguchi review coming to the channel. It's going to be the Amazing Yamaguchi Classic Spider-Man version 2.0. So that's going to be our first Amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech review coming to the channel. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward more so to doing the review rather than the figure itself, if I'm being quite honest, because they're amazing. The Revoltech stuff has always been a little too stylized to where I'm like, I don't know. But lately, especially with this classic version, opened my mind a little bit more favorably. And so I thought to myself, you know what? Let's at least do it, at least for the classic. And so that's what I'm going to be covering. But like I said, it's en route. I don't have it in hand yet. But according to this, it should be here on the 29th, which I believe is Saturday or Friday. It's Saturday. The only downside, though, is that I don't know if I made a mistake. I really hope I didn't make a mistake, but I'm having it shipped to my girlfriend's house. So I'm gonna have to swing on by her place, which means I'm probably not gonna be able to do that review until like next week, if we're being honest. But it's okay. Like I said, in the meantime, I got Mezco the Batman. So we got our first Mezco review. We're gonna have our first Amazing Yamaguchi review coming to the channel. And then entering July, we have quite a bit of McFarlane stuff. So let me go through my McFarlane pre-orders. Right off the bat, I can tell you probably amongst all of the McFarlane toy stuff, McFarlane Toys figure reviews that I have on pre-order, I think the first one that's gonna go down, that's gonna drop down, is probably going to be that tumbler. It's probably going to be the McFarlane Toy Store Gold Label exclusive tumbler, which is the official black one with Lucius Fox. And the only reason why I feel compelled enough to say that is because amongst all of the stuff that is set for, because there's a lot of stuff supposedly dropping in July, but specifically amongst all the things, it's the tumbler that I'm gonna put money down, not literally, but I would willing to be put money down and wager is gonna drop first, because it's a McFarlane Toy Store exclusive, so it's only a set amount that they even need to make to distribute here in the US via MTS. But two, versus the other things that I have on pre-order for July, the other stuff is also available at mass market. But on top of that, out of all the things that I have pre-ordered except for July, it's the one that already has like a shit ton of in-hand photos across social media. Like across social media, you go on Instagram, instantly there's a lot of people based in Hong Kong and China that already have the tumbler in hand and they're taking photos in hand. So I'm like, versus the Batman Forever wave, versus the new collector's edition wave that has the manga Batman and Sergeant Rock, I think is his name, and the Superboy. Nobody has shared in-hand photos of those figures. It's all been like expo stuff, convention stuff, but there's never been any actual like in-hand photos like the ones with the tumbler and Lucius Fox. On top of that, yesterday I got an email from Nerdzoic, who runs his own store. Not only does he have a YouTube channel, but he also runs his own storefront. And he himself had ready to ship in stock the Lucius Fox and tumbler set. I don't know how he managed to get his hands on a batch of some kind, and he sold out within like 20-25 minutes or so. I had the opportunity to buy it. I had the a page open. I added it to my cart. But all respect and love to Nerdzoic. I can tell he's a genuine guy. I can tell that he is authentic about you know, his store and stuff like that. And I understand where he's coming from with this. Dude was charging a $18 premium. So the tumbler goes for $100 on the McFarlane Toy Store website. He was selling it for $118. And on top of that, shipping was going to be another $15. So the grand total, if I had bought it through Nerdzoic, would have been $135. My grand total for my pre-order right now of the tumbler that I managed to get that morning when pre-orders went up was $103. So I'm effectively paying a $32 premium just to get it early. The only other upside for Nerdzoic is that he does have, also similar to Mike's Toys and stuff, he had a pay in 4 option where you get to pay in like 4 installments. So they only charge you $33 right off the bat, and then once every like 2 weeks they'll charge you $33. So in case you don't want to make the full payment, you could pay it in installments in case money's a little tight, which for me right now it is. But despite that option, in good conscience, I could not pay an extra $32 just to know that I'll get it early. You know what I mean? Like, just to get it early. And even though it will be a review, so there's a return of investment, you could argue there. You know, there's going to be coverage of it on the channel, so it's not like just some vanity purchase that I'm going to be like, okay, cool, and then it goes in storage. No, I'm actually going to make content for you guys. So that's what, but still $32. And on top of that, like I said, we're only looking like at a few days early. I still have the Mezco Batman to cover. I have the Amazing Yamaguchi Classic Spider-Man coming on its way. And then on top of that, I may or may not be starting a brand new job in the next couple of weeks. A brand new full-time job. That's going to be taking up some of my time. So that's why I'm like, an extra $32 just to get it a few days early, and I might not even get to it in time in terms of filming content for it. I'm like, I think we're good. Plus, who knows? Monday of next week, I might wake up and then poof, there's an email from McFarlane saying, "Hey, we shipped out your Tumblr." There you go. And they're in Vegas. Without, like I said, doxing myself, I can literally drive to Vegas, so I can't imagine shipping taking too long from McFarlane. There's been times before where I've ordered directly from McFarlane. Not next day. I want to say about 2 days. As early as 2 days, as average as like 3 days later, I get it. So that's why I'm like, I'm cool. Bland Boy, most common complaint I've seen the Mezco is that neck seems off. I'll see, because I've seen some Mezcos that I'm like, that looks ugly, and then I've seen some other Mezcos that I'm like, yo, that looks legit. This Batman in the photos look legit. It actually did not look too bad for me. That's why I pulled the trigger on it. And then if I had to pick out some other Mezcos that I was like, you know what? That actually doesn't look too bad. The Keaton Batman, the 89 Keaton Batman. And then while I was at Mike's Toys and Stuff to pick this up, one of his coworkers, or his co-owner, I imagine, showed me just to, I guess, kind of convince me, and he started to do some work. He was getting there, but money's a little tight right now. But he showed me in hand, so I can see it in real life, the classic Spider-Man from Mezco. So it's the classic 1962 Spider-Man. And I'm not gonna lie, he looks a lot better than he does in the photos. In photos, he doesn't look that too flattering. In my opinion, he looks kind of ugly. But then seeing him in person, seeing the cloth suit, and I don't know, there was a novelty to him that I was like, I actually kind of dig this, surprisingly. I don't know what it is, but I kind of dig it. So, who knows? We'll see how this Batman pays off. As far as quality, as far as people's reception to the video, and if it's all good and favors everybody, I'll be like, you know what? Maybe more Mezco stuff will be coming to the channel. We'll see. Animation Station, can you do a head swap with the McFarlane? I know Mezco heads seem to run larger than normal. Animation Station, do you mean swap the Batman Mezco's head for the McFarlane Mezco's head? Because if so, we'll see. Because my main concern with head swaps has always been damaging either of the figures or either of the head sculpts. In terms of wearing out the pegs, making the pegs a little bit bigger than they need to be, that kind of thing. That's always been my major concern. Pepe Zamora, welcome to the stream. I swear it's ridiculous how the most wanted things are sold out in literal seconds or minutes, and online exclusives on top of that. It's pretty crazy that McFarlane is such a strange, questionable individual that he literally prices the two tumblers at different prices. Dude, they're the exact same mine as a sculpted cannon and painted. Yeah, but I gotta be honest, I disagree, Pepe Zamora. I don't think it's crazy. I mean, from a business angle, it's not crazy. From an optics, the way it's sold out quickly, it's not. But from a business, it's a little daunting to see it go poof like that. But from a business standpoint, no. Because right now, pull up the page for the black one on the McFarlane Toy Store site, and then pull up the Amazon page for the camo one. Which one's sold out? And which one can you still buy? That's why the price is different. It speaks for itself. I understood it. I immediately went, yeah, you know what? I pre-ordered both just so we can have like a comparison later on when I do cover both tumblers. But I knew that between the two, the one that I needed to prioritize in terms of waking up early and making sure that I refreshed that DC Multiverse tab and pre-ordered was the black one. Because being black, being the default tumbler, and being McFarlane Toy Store exclusive, I needed to get that. And then people are not going to pre-order the camo like that. They're not. So, and from a business angle, McFarlane, people are not going to like it, but do I understand the price difference? I do. I honestly do. Big Troy's Collectibles, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. I like the profile picture there, by the way. And then Pepe, going back to what you said earlier about how the most wanted things are instantly sold out. Uh, it's funny because at first I did feel the same feeling, but recently, speaking of Nerdzoic, kind of making it keeping things sort of thematic. Um, Go to his YouTube channel, Nerdzoic. I believe you could just type in Nerdzoic. Let me double check that. That's all you really have to do in order to look it up. Nerdzoic. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So just type in Nerdzoic at Nerdzoic on YouTube, and he has a video I recently watched. It's a really good video. There's a part of me that even kind of wants to make like a little short to kind of give him a little bit of a shout out. But he made a video titled "The Sad Truth Behind the Crazy Fast Pre-Order Sellouts in 2024." And I think at even one point in the video, he does reference the Tumblr selling out quickly. But on top of that, also certain Marvel Legends like the Scarlet Spider, going back to McFarlane, the Dark Side mega figure, the classic Dark Side, and how it sold out quickly, and how he attributed it to the pendulum effect, where it's now swinging in the other direction. Whereas last year and a couple of years before, we had a shit ton of not just Marvel Legends, even though I feel like Marvel Legends was probably the biggest uh, criminal of this, quote unquote criminal. But McFarlane also had its fair share of this, where we just kept seeing the same figures over and over and over across Targets, across Walmarts, and that's because they were overproducing, because it was like a ripple effect that was being generated by, sadly, the pandemic. People had a lot of money to spend, so what were they buying? Action figures, collectibles, video games. It's happening in the video game industry where you have all these people getting laid off. Why? Because the games aren't making money. Why? Because people aren't buying the games. Why? Because we're going back to work. We're going back to normal. But now, after the effects of the pandemic, where people were getting comfortable with their stim checks, but not comfortable with going back to a regular job, that now they look at and go, hey man, this is some bullshit. This really was like prior to the pandemic. I keep telling people this. I've told my girlfriend a couple times. She believes me. But I've told people this where, and some people might find this just a teensy bit sacrilegious, where in the annals of history, however you say that, yeah, as perverse as it sounds, we've always said BC and AD, before Christ, after death, as like that point to call on the timeline, to go, is this BC? Is this AD? I feel like there's a new one. Forget about BC AD. Now it's BC AC. Before COVID, after COVID. I genuinely believe that in terms of how society works, how economy works, how relationships work, how everything works, how we put on our clothes, how we drive to work, how we socialize, anything is now splintered in two. Before COVID, after COVID. And unfortunately, that goes for action figure collecting, that goes for gaming, that goes for going to the movies, that goes for digesting content, as far as the superhero movies that we get, the shows that we watch, all that stuff. And action figures are no different. That's why now we're seeing a lot of figures that you look at like that. For a split second, I was genuinely surprised to see Darkseid sell out so quickly, but immediately I thought to myself, yeah, McFarlane's doing the smart stuff. You might not like it, but they're doing the smart thing, making low amount, because they don't want to risk overstocking and then poof, it's on the site for however long. They already kind of fumbled earlier this year a little bit with that White Knight Batmobile, because it's still readily available, so readily available that they made a separate page to bundle it with the White Knight Azrael 2-pack that is a peg warmer, but they're giving you a $10 discount. I think it's like a $10 discount, whatever. And that's because then nobody's buying that. But people bought the shit out of that Dark Side. Yeah. And they're buying the shit out of the Tumblr. Yeah, so that's what they're going to be doing. Savvy Games, welcome to the stream. Do you prefer the Marvel Legends .cock or the 2004 Toy Biz? That's actually a good question. As I noted in that comparison video, it's tough because there's certain things that I like about the Toy Biz that beats the Marvel Legends or multiverse or MCU version, whatever you want to call it. But the MCU does have the advantage of certain characteristics that were perfected in the technology, such as the filament and the wiring for the tentacles. I like bending the tentacles on the new one versus the original Toy Biz, but the Toy Biz nailed the actual etching and sculpting and paintwork on each individual little rivet of the tentacles, and I wish that we could have kind of fused the two. So I still stand by what I said in that video, that I feel like I really do wish that we could have kind of blended the two. I had this gentleman at GameStop pre-order 2 Nightfall versus Batman 2-packs. I was originally iffy on doing so, and it's quite expensive, but I saved up. And yeah, that's the thing. That's another one that's selling out quickly. I partially regret not pre-ordering at McFarlane Toy Store for that 2-pack, because I do want to cover it. But I did secure a pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store for that Nightfall 2-pack, because I do partially regret selling my... Or did I sell it or did I return it? The original Bane Mega figure. That's the one thing that I'll confess to being a major blunder on my part, is that I did get rid of my original Bane, that original Mega figure Bane, because at the beginning I didn't like it. But over time, I do look back and go, was that a wise choice? But now I do have a pre-order for that 2-pack. It's got to wait to see what... Okay. I partially take it back. It's going to be a neck-and-neck tie between the Nightfall Bane 2-pack and the Tumbler, the McFarlane Toy Store Tumbler. Those are the two that are probably going to drop at the very beginning of July, maybe even at the beginning of, like, as soon as next week. We might see those two drop. So we might get emails from Big Bad Toy Store saying, hey, that's about to drop. We're about to process that order. Or McFarlane Toy Store saying, hey, we're about to ship out your Tumbler. Or we shipped the Tumbler. We created a label at the very least. So those are the first two that are going to be probably created and shipped. And then after that, I think it's going to be the collector's edition wave. So the manga Batman, which I got to be honest, is just Nightfall Batman from McFarlane, only with a different color scheme and a different bat symbol and a different head. I mean, if really being quite honest, it's pretty much a repaint. But I do plan on making content, even though I'm not a huge fan of this method that they're doing for manga Batman. It is going to be content, and I am going to cook. I'm an idiot. I will say it is cool, but definitely not worth $80. There is a little bit of it. I can't remember if I said this either in a stream or in a video or in a short, that they did kind of puff out the pricing on that 2-pack, because if you add it up, there's like $10 that I look at the price and go, where's that $10 going? Because I think it's like, what, 80 or 70? No, I think it's 70. Hold on, let me go to my Big Bad Toy Store pre-order. It is 70. Yeah. The reason why I find that kind of finicky is because a mega figure MSRP is 40, a standard Batman is 20, or let's say $22.99. So 40 plus 23, 63. So where's that extra $7 going? And wait, is there a diorama included or no? I do believe there's accessories. There is a partial argument. You only get one card, though. I kind of wish we would have had an individual card for Batman and one for Bane. Batman does come with... Actually, okay. You know what? I gotta be honest, I take it back. Welcome, Smile Siddiq. Welcome, Mathia0867. Welcome to the stream. So, I gotta be honest, I kind of take it back. I kind of take it back because, let me do this. There we go. That way, like I said, I don't dox myself, even though we should be fine. So this is the picture that made me go, you know what? I take it back, because Batman comes with 6 hands. Now, this Nightfall Batman already, the original release of like that light gray, dark blue version without the battle damage, did come with a Batarang and did come with an extra set of hands, so you can have 2 open hands and 2 fist hands. However, this one comes with a 3rd pair of these clenching in pain hands for when you pose them in his back-breaking pose, along with the wincing face. Bane, I might be wrong, but I don't remember the original Mega Figure Bane coming with an extra set of fists. I could be wrong, though. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't remember the original Bane Mega Figure that I had before I got rid of it coming with extra hands. If he did not, and this new version comes with extra hands, then okay. That's where the extra $10 comes from. And then there's the factor of the cloth wired cape for the new Nightfall Batman. So that's why I'm like, there's a little bit of wiggle room for me to look at the $70 and be like, okay, kind of see it. Now the real question will be if the Forever Batmobile sells, because nostalgia is a hell of a drug for the Nolan films, but not so much for Schumacher. Bland Boy, I disagree. I really do think that nostalgia will sell out that Schumacher Forever Batmobile. You know why? Because again, go to the McFarlane toy store and look at the Batman Forever wave. Sold out. Not even McFarlane toy store. Check Big Bad Toy Store. Check Entertainment Earth. All sold out. That Forever Batmobile, I'm gonna be there hour 1 to make sure I secure my pre-order so I can cover it in a video and also have my own, because I do have, apart from the nostalgia, I generally do like that style of the Batmobile in Batman Forever. I really do. I would even go as far as to say I like it a smidge better than the Burton one. A smidge. Not a whole lot like toppling, but a little better. Just a little better. Once we get to Batman and Robin, you can tell that some fucking executive said, make the Batmobile as exaggerated as possible so we can sell the shit out of that toy. That's the one that I'm like, McFarlane, you can skip Batman and Robin. Because if you're going to do Batman and Robin, you need to do LED lights, because that's literally the only way that fucking thing works. With that little spinning light in the middle. Mundo Fan, welcome to stream. Saludos desde Argentina. Mundo Fan, me encantan las empanadas de Argentina. Los argentinos son los mejores para hacer empanadas. Especialmente los de sabor a espinaca y ricotta cheese. Especially hyped for Darkseid, but yeah, it's hella chaotic trying to note down and buying all these things, especially hyped for Dark. I would just advise to like follow them on social media. You know, just keep tabs on Twitter, just keep tabs on Twitter, Instagram, and as I don't want to say toxic, it's actually not that toxic. I'll be honest. I'm actually pretty surprised by how not toxic the subreddit for McFarlane Toy Store, the McFarlane Toys subreddit is, but McFarlane r/McFarlane Figures on at Reddit. Ever so often, you're gonna find something that you're gonna be like, oh, there's a hint as to what's coming later. Are you planning on getting the McFarlane Nightfall Batman and Bane, comparing it to the others? Oh, so Smile, I just kind of answered your question earlier. You bet. That's the thing. Is like when I saw that 2-pack, the first thing that popped into my brain was that I was just gonna do a short. But then I thought about it, how high in demand it is, how people are posting photos of it on the Reddit, and I was like, yeah, this is either gonna have to be a full-length review of the 2-pack, or I'll compromise and I'll do a short for Bane, just to kind of, because you've seen that Bane before, but with the Batman, I'll do a review / comparison / ranking of all the Nightfall Batmans that have been released thus far. And that'll include the original Nightfall Batman, the black and gray Batman, black and gray Nightfall Batman, And then depending on where it comes out in terms of time lapse, that upcoming manga Batman Collector's Edition, because I can tell from the photos that that's the Nightfall Buck, and they just repainted over it and gave it a brand new head sculpt and a brand new bat symbol. So yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I just don't know what the methodology is going to be. Exactly, LL. If you do the math, and that's also without taxes, and make it figures $40, and it goes to 20. Yeah, so pretty much what I mentioned earlier. And Mathia, that was a wired cape on the Nightfall Batman that's gonna come in the Bane and Batman 2-pack. That is a wired cape. That's why the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, okay, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I'm able to swallow the $70 price tag. But that's not to say that there haven't been 2-packs in the past where I looked at the price and thought, no, something's off here. The math is not mathing. All right. Now, to slightly shift gears a little bit, Marvel Legends. Just going to touch on this real quick. That Deadpool review actually did pretty well, pretty surprising as far as numbers are concerned, and reception, and how people were down to watch it and down to check it out. That how do you guys feel about more Marvel Legends reviews coming to the channel? Whether they are Spider-Man related or not, or kind of Spider-Man adjacent. Because right now, if I go to my Amazon cart, yeah, Prime Day, July 16th. Even though they barely even have anything good these days. Yeah, so if I go to my Amazon cart, the Wolverine that was announced along with that Deadpool is readily available. It's actually available for standard MSRP, $25. So part of me is kind of like, do I want to do a review or at the very least a short on that? Shipped and sold by Amazon. So yeah, I don't know. And then if we want to keep things kind of Spidey related, that movie Carnage from Let There Be Carnage just dropped. And it's a little pricey at the $40 range, but then I see all the accessories and I'm like, it does look kind of cool. It does look kind of cool. Do I want to cover it on the channel? It is Spidey related, technically. It's Carnage. And then that combined with the recent Marvel Legends Hasbro Pulse stream that they did, where they confirmed that there is a revision or a 2.0 of the movie Venom coming, where it's pretty much the same thing as the original Venom, but he's going to come with like tendrils that you can connect to the back, so like he's got like little faces that you can kind of connect to his back. I'm like, I might want to cover these two. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind on it. Yeah, and the Mafex Bane, I still haven't made up my mind. Is he still available? Last time I checked at Big Bad Toy Store, they still had him. Yes he is. Yes he is, but did they raise the price? I could have sworn it was 110, now it's 120. Is he available? Wait, what number is he? Number 216 Bane. Let me just copy and paste that. How's Hobby Link doing? Because I know Hobby Link's going to be a whole lot cheaper. How's Ami Ami doing? Sold out on Hobby Link, naturally. Yeah, because oh my god. That's the thing. From now on, I think if I really am going to be serious about covering Mafexes, it needs to, I need I think priority number one, Hobby Link, Hobby Genki, and Ami Ami. And if you miss your opportunity, you miss your shot with those three, you're best just waiting until one of my local shops like Mike's Toys and stuff has it, because I think I was lucky to see that they still had the Nightfall Batman Hobby Link, but prior to that, Mike's Toys and stuff had it before Big Bad Toy Store or even Entertainment Earth shipped theirs out. So I'm like, huh. I think I might have to start looking at that. Big Bad Toy Store always upcharges 15 to 20 on premium figures. Excuse me. But yeah, and sometimes it's egregious, and then other times I can kind of understand because their flat rate shipping is $4. So it never increases over $4. So that's kind of where the wiggle room is for me to go, okay, I kind of get it. But at the same time, seeing the Mafex Bane be 120, but then at HobbyLink it's 76. When you convert the Japanese yen, that's where I'm like, shit, man, that's almost $50. That's almost $50. And naturally, it's sold out at HobbyLink. But I'm just saying, if I were to do it, and it's around the same price over at AmiAmi, but unfortunately, AmiAmi sold out. It's like they know. Of course they knew. So yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to bring some more Marvel Legends content to the channel. What do you guys think? Hey, is Titan Toys a scam? I never heard of them, to be honest. Super Emotions. Welcome to the stream, by the way. But I never heard of Titan Toys. I know Toys Wonderland is. Titan Toys. Yeah, I never heard of this site. I don't know. They got the pre-order for the integrated suit Spidey from Mafex, which just recently got announced. And I did pre-order at HobbyLink. Is it sold out at HobbyLink? Let me check. Is it? Still available. Yeah, so Mafex earlier this year did the Toby, which I think is also still available. Might be wrong about that. But surprisingly, he is still available. And now they announced the integrated suit Tom. The question now, however, is Mafex going to announce a Andrew? And the reason for why that's a big $1 million question is because, as it's been shown in the past like year and a half, there's some really finicky licensing problems with the Andrew Garfield Spidey when it comes to merchandising and the collectibles and action figures. Like from Hot Toys to Marvel Legends, there's always that Amazing Spider-Man 2 branding that they have to do. So I'm wondering if Mafex is even going to bother with that. I mean, look at Figure Arts. Figure Arts, yeah, they did a figure, but there was no Andrew head. And then on top of that, it had weird proportioning problems that I'm like, did two companies work on this at the same time? I don't know if bro reads comics, but everyone still wants a new 52 Batman, and McFarlane is like, oh, okay, here you go again. Bam, it's just another bug and version of Batman from DC Rebirth. How does new 52 actually look like? Yeah, this one. Oh, okay. Like, I see the similarities, but yeah, especially towards the torso area, he would probably need at least a little bit of extra bulkiness. But he pretty much just took DC Rebirth. So if I type in DC Rebirth. Because didn't he kind of do the same thing with Superman? With the Rebirth Superman? Clearly doesn't like New 52, or he just can't get the fact that there are different universes along with completely different designs for each character. Well, I don't know if they're completely different, to be quite honest. There's similarities, but I do see the differences. Versus New 52. Let me see if I can get a comparison shot. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, that's not it. Yeah, I see the similarities, but I also see the differences. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna have to be trial and error super motions, as far as you know. I would probably just say don't pre-order anything expensive from there, but like the Bane and Batman 2 pack, maybe they're like the alter ego comics of these smaller figures, because I know alter ego comics is a storefront in Ohio that also has like a Mercari page, and they sell hot toys, and they were one of those stores where I saw on Mercari and thought it was a little too good to be true, especially when I made an offer to get a Hot Toys. It was the Arkham Origins XE suit, extreme weather suit from Batman Arkham Origins Hot Toys figure, and I made an offer to them to get it for like $40 or $50 cheaper, and they accepted. And I was like, I hope I don't get ripped off. But lo and behold, I got the notification saying it's shipped. I got a tracking number. It looked legitimate, and then it said delivered. I checked with my girlfriend to see if she got it delivered to her place, and she was like, yeah, there's this big box here. I was like, oh shit. And I got it, brought it home. I was like, it's real. And it even came with the little Alter Ego Comics sticker. And I was like, okay. And then later on, I find out that they're basically a collectible store that has a physical store in Ohio, but they do have a Mercari page to ship out to people around the country. And their supplier is, in fact, Sideshow. So I was like, okay, I guess it pans out. So ever since then, I've been purveying their stuff whenever it comes about. So hopefully that site ends up being kind of similar, a similar situation to you, Supermotions. Have you seen the CT Toys bootlegs? They are really good. They made a symbiote Toby based on the SH figure arts, and I think I've seen a couple of passes of photos on that. I got to be honest, like the Toby, for example, from them, I think have seen a few photos of it, and the body, and as far as like the standard suit and the standard body and the standard mask, look okay. The Toby heads though look a little too like muddied up, completely muddied. I gotta be honest, I don't like those. So it's kind of they're kind of a difficult sell for me, especially after already owning the figure arts. Even though I would say if I had money to burn, like literally money to burn, maybe I would do like an experiment type of video where I would buy and order in one of these knockoffs and do a comparison between the real SH figure arts and the knockoff. But I don't really have that kind of money. Well, I have enough money. I'm financially good enough right now, barely good enough to be like, all right, I just want to cover the legitimate stuff, the official figure arts, Mayfex, Sentinel stuff, Marvel Legends, McFarlane's, and then later on, if I, like I said, I have money to literally burn, I'll go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm moving the camera a little bit too much. I'll go ahead and I'll start like looking into the concept of comparing knockoffs versus real, you know, and we start to go for like the Mr. Beast factor. Oh god. All right, guys. I hate to do this, but I think I might have to end it a little early. My parents are home. They're home. They're home. I hate to end it so impromptu here, but like I said, I just can't really do streams like that when they're around. So, Super Motions, Smile Acidic, Peppa Zamora, Matthias, Bland Boy, Silly Geezer, Figure Fan. Thank you guys for dropping on by. I know this had to be a quickie one, but like I said, I just want to cover base on the stuff that's going to be coming to the channel very soon, as well as 2 video essays that I also need to get back to work on. I need to get back to work on. So I'll keep you guys updated via posts and community tab and all that stuff. All right, guys. Take care. And as always,